Adding and subtracting rational expressions is where it gets a little bit trickier. The key here is that you have to have a common denominator. These are the only problems that require a common denominator. If it already has it, great, just continue forward. But if it doesn't, we have to build that. The way we do that is to factor out all the denominators. Once you know all the factors from the denominators, that's going to help you build that LCM that you need. Once you know what your LCM is going to be, that's going to be your common denominator. So we need to create that common denominator with each of the fractions by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by whatever the denominator is missing. Okay? Then you need to actually multiply out whatever's in the numerators. Distribute, FOIL, whatever you have to do. You have to multiply it out before you can combine like terms. Don't forget, if it's subtraction, you also have to distribute that negative. So let's look at an example. If we look at this example here, the first thing I notice is that it's subtraction. So to distribute the negative, we're just going to make all the signs change. So the minus is going to turn to a plus, and then everything after it is going to become the opposite. So what we have now is just an addition problem with a numerator of -6 plus 1. Okay? Now we need to factor out all of our denominators. This one doesn't really factor. It's just going to stay this. But don't forget, if we were to set this up, what multiplies to 25 and adds to 10? It's going to be 5 and 5. Since they match, that means we can write this as x plus 5 squared. That's really important because remember when we choose the LCM, we want to take the highest power of each thing that's there. And what this tells us is that our LCM needs to be x plus 5 squared. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and recopy this so we have a little bit of space here. Okay. So we have 4 over x plus 5 plus, remember we changed it to addition, -6x plus 1 over x plus 5 squared. Now, when I say multiply just by whatever's missing, this one has an x plus 5. I need it to be an x plus 5 squared, so that means I need another x plus 5. And so we're going to multiply numerator and denominator by x plus 5. We do have to then distribute this. You can't leave it in its factored form. So we get 4x plus 20 plus -6x plus 1. And that is all going to be together now over our common denominator of x plus 5 squared. So we can go ahead and combine the like terms. 4x minus 6x is -2x, and 20 plus 1 is 21. So we have -2x plus 21 over x plus 5 squared. You really need to write it as a squared, not x plus 5 times x plus 5, because that's just how we do it. So that would be your final answer. On this one, we were lucky that we did not need to multiply this second fraction by anything to get a common denominator. But sometimes you are going to have to multiply both. If they're both missing something from the LCM, then you would have to do both, and that's okay. All right, so that is adding and subtracting.